While the guardian orc was training Choi, a portal opened behind him, from which Angvrora's tail emerged. As he wondered if Hansu considered this place a trash dumping ground, Angvrora's blessing ruin activated, instantly regenerating her entire body. Observing the surroundings, she quickly realized that it's another ruin with different sets of rules. These rules stated that she belonged to this ruin and couldn't engage in any acts that violated its purpose, which is to train the hero. She found it ironic, having betrayed a hero in the past, and now being tasked with training them. Seeing Angvrora, the orc thought another weird thing had found its way here, making him wonder if he really had to work with a fish that smelled of rot. Choi then asked Angvrora if she was also sent by that unknown hero, to which she replied affirmatively. Then her status windows opened, revealing that despite being level 1, she possessed many high-ranking blessings. She then introduced herself as the great archwitch Angvrora, the new guardian of this ruin. And in addition to the guardian orc, Choi now had to defeat her to complete his training. Choi quickly realized he is in big trouble, as he couldn't even scratch the guardian orc, and now he have to defeat an archwitch as well. Meanwhile, at Hogwarts Academy, students are protesting in front of the principal's office, demanding to open the rune and ensure their safety while exploring it. The principal is annoyed, thinking everything is falling apart due to the earthquake caused by the ruin, and now the students' parents are panicking. The head teacher then informs her that her plan to monopolize the ruin had completely failed due to someone leaking it, and because it's located right below the academy, people from higher-ups are voicing their opinions. The principal informs that the heroes who were supposed to attend the academy are nowhere to be seen, and the saintess isn't responding either, which made her even more annoyed, fearing that all the students might drop out, threatening Hogwarts Academy's existence. The head teacher then suggested handling the situation the way the temple wanted. She agreed, stating that despite the loss, it's the only way they can salvage something from this. She then instructed the head teacher to gather all the teachers for a meeting on how to at least get the minimum profit from this situation. Meanwhile, Hansu is in the forest with Cogmos II. He was preparing for the midterm exam, which is now cancelled, and the condition of the academy is a mess. Though he didn't gain much exploring the ruins, he was able to obtain the Curse of Avarice, which stated that nobody could steal his possessions or take them away, which will help him hide his status window. Regardless, he is troubled by the fact that he had to risk his life for a simple curse. He thought he would easily obtain the curse by raising Dialoka's level, but he didn't expect to get it just by monopolizing the ruins, which almost turned into a disaster. As the outsider god was praising Hansu for his greed, the teacher of the dark magic class, Britunis, appears and tells him that she needs his help, for which he'll have to come with her to her research lab. Upon entering the research lab, the first thing he sees is a coffin, which makes him wonder if it's for a human, and if it is, why someone would keep it in their lab. Britunis then informs him that she heard a rumor about him having a blessing capable of negating the risk from dark magic. She asks if it's true, to which he replies affirmatively. He is relieved as she wasn't sure about his blessing, meaning that she can't see his status window, which is hidden by the Curse of Avarice. She then continues, and excitedly asks if the rumor about him learning dark magic on his own is also true. He affirms, informing her that he was able to use it thanks to Leisha, a senior from the second year. She tells him not to be humble, and now that she confirmed that he can use dark magic, there's something she needs his help with. But before that, she decides to explain the situation, and informs him that due to the ruin being discovered at the academy, it caused extreme chaos throughout the empire. Because of that, the academy is now in a condition where it is unable to reject any requests. Hearing this, Hansu wonders if she's talking about the ruin that was guarded by Angvrora. She continues, and adds that among all the requests, there is one in particular that they cannot refuse, which was proposed by the Imperial Duke. The request is to find the culprit who assassinated his wife, Duchess Thanashtana, who is lying dead in the coffin. As she was saying that she and the principal were trying dark magic, Hansu quickly figures out and asks if he is here to resurrect the corpse and ask who the culprit is, to which she replies affirmatively and is shocked at how quickly he grasped the situation. She then states that she will do most of the work, and he just has to assist her. Hansu agrees to help her, suggesting getting this done quickly, while the outsider god supports his hasty decision. He then reaches out his hands to the coffin and starts to use dark magic, causing a red aura to surround Thanashtana's body. The process is similar to how the village chief used him as a sacrifice to regain his vitality, but thanks to the outsider's blessing, his vitality was completely fine. As he begins to sacrifice his vitality, the coffin starts to shine bright red while also rapidly draining Hansu's vitality, causing him great pain, but he has gotten used to it. This shocks Bertunis, as she can't believe that Hansu was able to proceed with the process without her help. Then suddenly, the coffin explodes, causing a column of dust to fly everywhere. Hansu wonders if it succeeded, while the outsider god excitedly hopes that it does succeed. Suddenly, Thanashtana's hands rise from the coffin, questioning where she is. Seeing this, Bertunis is surprised, as Hansu really succeeded by himself. Thanashtana then stands up and finds Hansu and the teacher to be suspicious, so she uses her blessing, holy law, and asks who they are and why they have resurrected her. This encounter shocked both of them, and neither of them knew what to say. Bertunis then congratulated Thanashtana on her resurrection. She introduced herself as Hogwarts Academy's teacher and informed that she and her student had resurrected her in response to a request from the Duke. Understanding this situation to be very confusing, Bertunis decided to explain in more detail. Meanwhile, Hansu blankly stared at his hand as the pain is completely gone, which made him realize that it's only a little painful when vitality gets sucked out. But thanks to the outsider's blessing, there doesn't seem to be any other problem. As he was appreciating the outsider's blessing, he suddenly heard a scream. As he looked back, he saw that a hooded guy and a girl had attacked Thanashtana and severed her head, while Bertunis lay unconscious. This confused him, as he didn't hear a single noise when they attacked. He then questioned what was going on and demanded that they identify themselves. Without replying, the girl behind the guy threw a knife at Hansu that struck right in his chest. As Hansu is caught off guard, the guy rushes to attack him and grabs his face while placing a knife near his neck. Just then, Hansu sarcastically said that it's a pretty good reaction from a criminal who just got caught red-handed. Seeing Hansu so calm, the girl realized that something is wrong, so she quickly instructed her partner to fall back before it gets dangerous. But it was too late, as Hansu had used his meat power and struck the guy's chest while saying that they shouldn't approach someone without being careful. The attack was so swift that the guy was unable to react, and it left a hole in his chest. The girl called her partner stupid and asked Hansu if he is even human, to which he replied that he is 100% human. And since he eliminated one of them, he wondered if he was supposed to spare the other and take her captive. Hearing this, the girl let go of Thanashtana's head and started to use magic while telling him not to joke around. She then created a green sword out of magic and told Hansu that he is too cocky just because he was able to eliminate one human. She tells him to look closely at the power of the fourth demon lord, who poisoned many heroes. She then rushes to attack, while Hansu is confused hearing her speech, but he is sure that the green sword is dangerous. So he quickly dodged her attack and informed her that he had a fairy blade, so she should be careful. To this, she replied that he is talking nonsense. As he had to keep her alive to learn who's behind this, he used a round kick attack to knock her out. While the outsider god praised him, saying that it was a cool kick, he was worried, wondering if he had gone too far and if she was dead. Then suddenly, he heard something behind him, and as he looked back, his reaction became grim, and he started to scream. Later, it is revealed that the reason Hansu was screaming is because he saw Thanashtana's severed head moving. Surprisingly, she can even talk in this state, and expresses finding the situation to be interesting, as she thought she died helplessly again. Bertunis informs her that the reason she is still alive might be due to what Hansu said during the resurrection process. She then lifts Thanashtana's head and places it back on her body, while saying that in order to resurrect one person, the process requires 5 people at the very least. However, Hansu was able to do that alone, which makes her question how he is still conscious despite losing so much vitality. Hearing this, the outsider god feels proud, while Hansu informs her of his outsider blessing. She is shocked to learn about a blessing that even she, a brilliant teacher of Hogwarts, doesn't know about, reminding her of how vast the world truly is. Thanashtana grasps the situation and questions how long her resurrection will last. Before anyone can answer, her head starts to fall from her body. Bertunis then quickly places it back and informs that theoretically, her resurrection should last until Hansu's vitality runs out. This leads Hansu to wonder if she is able to remain alive until his vitality runs out. Does that mean she is indirectly receiving the blessing of the outsider? Suddenly, he hears Thanashtana say that she is like a fly that doesn't know when its life might end. This confuses Hansu because she isn't even moving her lips, but he can hear her. She continues, expressing doubt about being able to protect Hansu, considering her inability to react to a lowly sneak attack earlier. Then suddenly her status window pops up, which makes him even more confused, to the point where he has to rub his eyes and look again. However, the status window is still there, and he realizes that what he heard earlier was her inner thoughts. This freaks him out, so he questions how he is able to see her status window without having the blessing of observation. Thanashtana tells him not to be noisy and simply state his problem, but in her inner thoughts, she thinks it wouldn't be bad to stick around with such a lively boy. Hansu informs her that not only can he hear her inner thoughts, but he can also see her status window. Thanashtana dismisses it, claiming he is talking nonsense, as she has the blessing of marriage, which hides her status window from everyone except her spouse. Excitedly, Britunus informs them that unlike ordinary resurrection, Thanashtana's resurrection was done solely through Hansu's vitality, which means that now she is his familiar spirit. This enrages Thanashtana, as it literally means she has become Hansu's property, prompting her to question how can she, the son of the empire, Thanashtana, could be this boy's familiar spirit. Hansu considers her anger to be the least of his problem. Instead, he worries about what Dialoka might do when she finds out. Later, Hansu arrives in his dorm room and sits next to the window while enjoying his first tea in this new world. However, he thinks that he would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't for the chaos that Dialoka and Thanashtana are causing, making their auras take on the form of a conflicting dragon and lion. Even Salona feels uncomfortable, to the point where she just wants to be anywhere except here. Thanashtana finds it ridiculous that a demon is in human territory, so she questions Dialoka if she is satisfied with her miserable life as a slave. Dialoka sarcastically replies by asking if something is rotting here, which is causing so many flies to be present. She also states that she didn't know that a lowly level 0 corpse is considered human. Meanwhile, Hansu is ignoring them, trying his best to enjoy the tea. Earlier, Britunus takes the attackers with her, stating that she will report the situation to the academy. And until the situation calms down, she requests Hansu to protect Thanashtana and make it seem like nothing happened. Although he agreed at first, now he realizes how bothersome it is. Just then, he notices that the temperature of the room is rising due to Thanashtana and Dialoka fighting, while Salona helplessly tries to stop them. This angers Hansu as it ruined his brief moment of peace, so he tells them to go outside if they want to fight. The next day, Ohanwu arrived in the city together with the Cassandra Mercenary Corps, whose leader Cassandra informed them that she was going to the guild to make a subjugation report, so everyone can rest and gather at the guild later. This makes Ohanwu happy, as he considers this free time similar to a field trip, and he is also hungry, so he decides to eat something first. Later, as he is eating, he wonders why he hasn't leveled up, even though he has hunted many trolls. After remembering that the reason he wasn't leveling up was because of the curse, he angrily throws his food on the ground, which causes his curse of greed, which is now called avarice, to activate, resulting in a stomachache. Later, he arrives at the guild, where Cassandra introduces everyone to Count Gerotus, the owner of the Dialoka merchantry, and the one who entrusted them with the escort quest. Ohanwu then inquires why the merchantry isn't named after him instead of Dialoka. The girl beside Gerotus, who is his assistant, explains that the previous owner of Dialoka Mercenary was in debt, so she was sold as a slave, making Gerotus the current owner. Hearing this, Ohanwu senses an opportunity, as according to the protagonist's plot, there will definitely appear a beauty who will manage finance. He doesn't think it will be Gerotus, so he considers this a step towards gaining a new female protagonist. Then, a certain childish god orders a bunch of popcorn, while a certain water god is disgusted by the expression of an unworthy hero. Later at night, Ohanwu was camping in the forest, thinking that he had somewhat improved at maintaining a bonfire. However, he finds it strange that, unlike the path to picking up Gerotus, on the journey towards Hogwarts, there had been no monster attacks, and the Cassandra Mercenary Corps is also very carefree. Then suddenly, a bird flies toward Gerotus's carriage, so Ohanwu decides to investigate. After finding the right time, he sneaks out of his position and hides beside the carriage to eavesdrop. Just to be on the safe side, he also activates his blessing of special. As he begins eavesdropping, he hears Gerotus inform his assistant that the demon lord has instructed them to hurry up with their plan. To which she replies that she will tell the Cassandra Mercenary Corps to speed up as soon as the sun rises. Hearing them talk about the demon lord shocks Oh Han-woo, but he is more happy than shocked, as his suspicions were right. He considers this a significant event that he would have missed if he were simply training at the temple. Just then, Gerotus senses something and states that there seems to be a little rat nearby, so he instructs his assistant to catch it. Then suddenly, a pair of green hands break through the carriage behind Oh Han-woo and grabs him. He tries to use his special blessing. However, it is nullified in an instant. Later, Oh Han-woo regains consciousness and finds himself tied to a tree, his mouth tightly sealed by a cloth, making it hard for him to talk. He then sees Gerotus's assistant in her true demon form. She informs Gerotus that Oh Han-woo has regained consciousness. Terrified, he tries to say something, but the cloth prevents him from doing so. Gerotus tells him to calm down and mocks him, stating that the only reason they didn't eliminate him right away was because he wasn't worth their attention. This angers Oh Han-woo, who starts yelling through the cloth, expressing how dare they look down on the protagonist. As he doesn't have any apparent use, and might become a hindrance later on, Gerotus decides to get rid of him. So he instructs his assistant to dispose of Oh Han-woo, to which she complies. As she is about to end him, Oh Han-woo thinks that he can't die like this. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, stating that a certain impatient demon god is offering him strength. Desperately, he accepted the offer. Meanwhile, Han-soo arrives at the academy and notices that many people are still protesting. Just then, several knights wearing gold armor appear and instruct everyone to move aside, as they are there for official duties. Han-soo wonders if they are from the temple, to which Dialoka informs him that they aren't affiliated with the temple. Instead, they are the Empire's Golden Path Knights. He then asks why they are called Golden Path Knights, and are they a group of rich nobles who gathered as knights. Dialoka informs him that they ride Lamborghini and are also known as the Knights of Annihilation. They earned that title due to their strength and their rule to not compromise on anything. They are also famous for not taking any treasure or loot from those they eliminate. Learning about them, Han-soo decides to go the other way, as it would be bothersome to get involved with them. Dialoka questions why they are here, as those guys don't make a move unless it's something significant. Han-soo replies that he doesn't know either, and wonders if they are here because of Thanashtana. Later, the knights enter the principal's office. After hearing their reasoning for being there, she questions if they are implying that they are here to monopolize the ruins discovered in her academy. The knights apologize, stating that if that's how it sounds to her, then it's true. They are only conveying their opinion on the safety of the students, who will bear the future of the Empire. Considering how the security of Hogwarts Academy was bypassed as if it were nothing, it is not safe to let the Academy handle security measures. On top of that, they couldn't even save Duchess Thanashtana, making it more than enough reason for them to take over the ruins. The principal sarcastically replies that just because she is in the teaching business doesn't mean she is unaware of the situation in the Empire. She mentions how the Golden Path was so scared of Thanashtana's rising strength that they turned their backs on her and let her do all the work. This left her vulnerable, providing the assassins with a perfect opportunity to attack her, ultimately leading to her demise. She then directly mocks them, questioning how can they call themselves knights when they don't have a single bit of knighthood. She also adds that now she understands why the Saintess doesn't trust them with carrying out highly important jobs. This infuriates the knight, and as he is about to unsheath his sword, the head teacher arrives and suggests that both parties stop. He advises that if the knights were to cooperate with them, they could plan out safety measures more quickly, and if they start exploring the ruins first, they will receive support from the academy, making the cooperation more efficient. The knights agree with him and informs that they will enter the ruins first, but need some time to prepare. After the knights left, the principal let out a sigh of relief and stated that all this had happened because of Britunus not wanting anyone to know about the demon's failed assassination attempt and the resurrection of Duchess Thanashtana. She suggests that they remodel the academy's security system before the mercenaries take admission. As the one believed to be behind the infiltration incident this time is the fourth demon lord, Jerokalodi, who is famously known as the demon lord of poison and assassination. She is also the only female among the demon lords. Since it was reported that her daughter was eliminated, it wouldn't be weird even if she were to attack right now. She recalls that the Saintess reported that she had captured a very powerful demon, but it cost her many knights and heroes. This made her question how strong the demon was, and when was the last time the Saintess herself went out to battle. The head teacher informed her that according to historical records, about 200 years ago was the last time she participated in battle, which was when the new demon king attacked the empire. After that, there were no records of her participating in any battles. She wonders how strong the demon was for the Saintess to step in, and she worries that the demons are growing stronger by the day. The head teacher then assured her that if this time the heroes get strong enough, they will be able to overcome any kind of threat, just like they always have.